I wasn't even planning to ask this, but you made a point that I think is important, in that you've got a role with NCMA, and you've spoken how so many young people don't realize how important soft skills are. I think another thing we fail to communicate is how important it is to choose to be involved as a volunteer leader of an organization like PMI or NCMA or wherever your passion is. Can you speak into a little bit about the value of volunteering?
Absolutely. I would really enjoy that because I want to tell you that if I had joined NCMA right before I retired from the military. And so I joined, and within a few months, I was like the vice president of programs or something like that, right? This is going back to 2000, 22 years ago. So, so they saw that I had some leadership potential. So they asked me, hey, would you consider being the next president of the chapter? I pushed back because at that point, I really wasn't sure what I was getting into. And I took we're going to use the word prudent risk.
Yes.
I took prudent risk because I says, well, I'm going to have a group of people, right? And it's a team effort. So as long as I keep the team motivated, we'll be successful. So I did, and I became the president. So here's what I wanted to share, though. In that capacity as the president of that chapter, now I'm the president now, 22 years later, right? But back then I was the president, and in that capacity, I met, because we have dinner speakers, and these are vice presidents of, like, Northrop Grumman, vice president of contracts at Raytheon, director of supply chain at Boeing. And I'm sitting with them at the head table, and I'm talking to these people. And I asked them, hey, are there any opportunities over where you're at? And that's why in those 10 years when I was in the aerospace industry, I moved up very exponentially, very rapidly. Why? Because I was willing to take a prudent risk and go from company A to B to C. And each time I did that, I got a pretty good promotion where now I'm in the bonus incentive program. Now, not only am I making an attractive six-figure salary, but I'm getting 50% of my salary in bonus. Okay, and so, but the point is that if I had not been in NCMA, or if I had not taken that initiative, I would have never had these opportunities to meet these people. And it's really who you know, right? And all of those jobs I got in the private sector, and even in the government, I will say that, was someone I knew. Either Renee Rendon, you interviewed Renee. How do you think I got to teach at UCLA? It was through Renee. He was on the board of directors with me on the NCMA, and he had just gotten his PMP certification. And I said, hey, I just got mine, and he's teaching at UCLA. I said, well, how do I do that? And you know what he said to me? Hey, if I hear anything, I'll let you know. And people say that all the time. And I never, but 2 weeks later, he called me. He said, hey, they're looking for someone to teach quality management as part of their project management program. I've never taught a class in my life, but I thought it would be challenging and interesting. So I called and I got an interview, and they picked me. And here I am 20 years later, and I'm still teaching for UCLA. So my point is this, that to be successful in life, you have to know people. You got to do a good job. You got to be able to execute your job, but don't be afraid to meet people. And all those people I met through an NCMA, I was able to get different, senior management positions because why? I'm sitting next to these people. I'm having dinner with them. They were our speaker. I was the guy who introduced them. And now we're talking, and all I had to say is, hey, you guys have any opportunities over there where you're at? You know what they say? Send me your resume. Here's my business card. I send them the resume, and this is a VP of contracts, and they're going to tell their director to interview me.
Yeah.
And that's
I wonder if that has a halo effect.
It does have a halo effect. Yeah. Yeah, it really does. And so, when you're successful in one area, then you can probably be more successful in the next. But you have to have some level of self-confidence. You have to be able to take risks to be successful, just like in investing. We all, we're in a down market right now, but am I worried about it? No. Why am I not worried about it? Because I know the market's going to come back. It always does. And there's all kinds of historical data to support that argument, right? So I'm not worried about it. I can sleep at night. I don't look at my portfolio every day. Now, when it's going up, I do, but not when it's going down, right? So, but those are some of the points I would share with, especially younger people when they're starting their careers. Is be brave. Don't be afraid. Take some risks. Get out there and meet people.